Am I the asshole for refusing to host Christmas after my mother woke my sleeping babies? Due to a bunch of soap opera-level bullshit I, 26 female, am raising 2 babies, a boy and a girl, who were born within 2 months of each other, and only one of them is biologically mine. My ex-husband is the father of both, and he stuck around long enough to give me custody before he fucked off to be irresponsible somewhere else. The babies are 6 and 8 months old. Despite the aforementioned bullshit, I love them both with all my heart. However, taking care of 2 kids alone is going about as well as you'd expect. I'm tired, I'm stressed, and despite being on maternity leave until the new year, I'm still getting emails, texts from coworkers asking me questions, plus I had to move to a new place 4 months ago with 2 newborns in tow, again entirely alone because I didn't want to break isolation. Anyway, Christmas is coming up, and it's my turn to host this year. I was very hesitant at first, and even refused, but they convinced me on some conditions. It's just my parents, and my brother, and that's it, no +1, no extended family. Everyone is taking precautions, which began at the start of this month, and if they so much as sniffle I reserve the right to kick them out. Christmas Day be damned. Mum came over today to bring me some items for Christmas. Nothing ridiculous, just a tablecloth, some of the food that will keep for a week, and some candles. She told me she was on her way, and I responded to say that the kids are asleep, which I stressed was a big thing because they never sleep at the same time, so she needs to be almost inhumanly quiet, and she said that was fine. I got the door, let her in, started to put stuff away, and she asked to use the bathroom. I said sure and reminded her where it was, and off she went. Within a minute I hear both babies crying. I leg it upstairs and Mum has stood there looking guilty as sin. I gesture for her to leave the room, which she does, and put the 8-month-old back to sleep, but can't do the same for the 6-month-old, so I take her downstairs, and Mum is still there. Mum begins to apologize saying she just wanted to hold them as she's never actually met them. I say that's fine, but she's just made me realize what a spectacularly bad idea hosting Christmas is, or having visitors in general, and gave her the stuff back and saw her out. This has caused a whole shitshow. My family are saying I have to reconsider hosting Christmas, saying it's inconsiderate of me to change plans at such short notice seeing as they've changed their work schedules in order to isolate and that my parents can't host on such short notice. I've told them to figure it out. They then asked that I come to Christmas at their place and I've refused, and they're saying that's also unreasonable and calling me an arsehole.
Not the asshole. You're super busy in your life and they want a single mother of 2 to frickin' host Christmas? Are they dumb? Besides that, you asked her to be quiet, then she went and picked them up, guaranteeing a wake-up. She didn't respect your boundaries at all.
Not the asshole. You mom knows better than to bother sleeping children. And maybe it's just my upbringing, but the fact that no one came by to help you is insane.
Why are you hosting Christmas this year? Because it's your turn? Do they realize you have 2 babies? Do they not care? This is completely ridiculous. They should be caring for you, and doing all the hosting. Not the asshole. I'd legit fight someone for waking up 2 infants. I would have seen red and not been able to control my mouth for sure. Your mom is an asshole. Who wakes a baby? Not the asshole. You have way too much going on and clearly people aren't understanding your situation. Not to mention the stress of it all, throwing off their schedules, and oh yay, that pesky pandemic thing.
Not the asshole girl, you have enough on your plate raising 2 babies, you don't need to be hosting anything. Mom waking them up aside, which was crappy, it's too big an ask right now. As an aside, the world needs more people like you. I'm in awe that you stepped up for the baby. You are good people. That baby is lucky as hell to have you.
The co-workers reaching out to you while on leave are the biggest asshats in this story. In the US, employees can get in big trouble for that.
Why on earth can your parents not host Christmas for 3 people counting themselves? That's just ridiculous. They can definitely figure it out. You enjoy Christmas in your own place.
Your mother should not have woke the babies, but it does seem like you're repeatedly pushing your family and potential support away, then stating how hard this is to do alone. Not the arsehole. As a mother of 2 myself, even with only one of them being an infant, I would be considered off limits for hosting requests. I can't believe they even wanted you to do that in the first place.
Not the asshole. While for the babies it would be best for you to host them since it'll be in their natural area, I don't think mentally it'll be good for you. You're too stressed to be able to handle it properly. Your mother needs to step up and help. I also think what your mother did was wrong. Yes, she wanted to see the kiddos, but come on, they were asleep. Babies don't sleep for very long, so she could have planted her butt on the couch and waited an hour or so and got to hold, maybe even feed a baby.
Not the asshole. Take the easy route and don't acknowledge the drama. I'm planning to be exposed at work around Christmas. Timing it out so I'll be in mandatory quarantine. Woman shrugging, light skin tone, no spending time with anyone, no having to explain I'm deeply paranoid about COVID. By the way, you first become infectious approximately 2 days before you start having symptoms. So before they know it, one person can infect the whole family. But I'm not sick shit is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, motherfucker, do you read? Not the asshole. It was very inconsiderate of your mother. And no offense, but in general your family sound very disrespectful towards you and are asking too much of you, considering that you have a lot on your plate right now. I'm proud of you and I hope that it gets easier over time.
Not the asshole. Your mother had been warned but decided her wanting a hug was more important than your kids needing to sleep. Even if you hadn't warned her, she would still be the asshole. I'd be somewhat forgiving if it was a clueless teen, but as a mother herself she should have known better. As for Xmas, how is it they justified pressuring a single mother of 2 babies to host? If they want a nice Xmas get-together, then they can arrange one themselves. You have far better things to do.
You need to swallow your pride and exhaustion to all for the help you desperately need. 8 months and 6 months are their own unique milestone struggles. Mom should be part of a Christmas. It's in the best interest of the children, and think of the pictures they will be able to look back to. It's just sleep. The punishment doesn't fit the crime. I say this as someone whose 2yo stopped napping when her twins were born. And whose twins didn't sleep for more than 30 minutes day, and 60 minutes night, for 7.5 months. And whose 1yo twins are cutting molars, so their single daily nap hasn't been longer than an hour in weeks, and nighttime sleep is horrid even with pain meds. And we moved when they were infants, and my significant other often works 80-hour weeks, and so on. All to say, I get it. Yeah, it sucks, but it's one nap, dude. Don't torch a whole holiday.
Fellow twins mom here. 100,000,000% not the asshole. That being said, you've been doing this alone for how long? Is there anyone in your circle, family, friend, or even a friendly neighbor or coworker, who can step in and give you a break? Burnout is real. You are superwoman for doing it alone all this time, but don't forget that you need care of your own. I know the pandemic of it so makes it harder though. NTA. Do what you need to for your family.
You are the asshole. This is such a huge overreaction, and frankly you seem bitter and hateful.
Not the asshole. You're raising 2 babies alone. I wouldn't dream of asking you to host anything. Just a question though. You don't want to host, but you also don't want to go to their place. What exactly is it that you want? If you don't want to spend Christmas with them at all, maybe you should say so directly.
Your mom did a stupid thing, but is that worth calling off Christmas? She wasn't trying to screw you. She just wanted to see her grandkids. Realistically, Christmas would have probably been a good opportunity to have 3 free babysitters for the day. I'm sure your parents and brother would be eager to spend the day with the babies. Which would allow you to have some hands-off time.
Not the asshole. Why would you host a major holiday while being a single mom to 2 babies? Ain't no one got time for that.
You are the asshole because you agreed knowing you had 2 infants. Nothing has actually changed. It's not life-shattering obviously, but it's a crappy thing to do.
Slight, you are the asshole. If you agreed to do it first, then you should stick to it. You knew there was a lot going to be going on, but still said yes. Sorry, but that's on you. If you said no first, that's one thing, but you already agreed, so gotta follow through honestly. Also, everyone here is acting like you're hosting an actual party, but it's just a few family members, so not as bad as y'all making it out to be.
Not the asshole. You shouldn't be hosting Christmas when you have 2 babies to tend to. Your family is so inconsiderate, and so is your mother for waking the babies because she wanted to hold them. She could have asked if she could stay for a while until the babies woke up so she could meet them. I get she probably feels put out having not been around them yet. But for fuck's sake, she should know better. And if they are so adamant there is a Christmas part, one of them can host it and shut up. It's been such a hard freaking year and yours sounds awful tbh, they should be more understanding. Info. Why can't your parents host?
Not the asshole. In what universe did it ever make sense for the single parent with 2 infants to host Christmas? Why did you family expect you to do this in the first place? This combined with your mom's inability to comply with a reasonable request within 5 minutes of being at your home shows that your family has very little respect for you or your needs. You were right to stick up for yourself and cancel their visit. Don't let them guilt you into changing your mind. Enjoy a nice, quiet, and safe Christmas at home with your babies.
Info. Did being around your family turn you off as much before the soap opera level bullshit? No need to answer, but please consider if you are isolating yourself due to trauma. You may not need your family, but you may need another adult in your life. Wow, so I guess I'm going against the grain on this one. You're all 3 AHs. Your ex who abandoned you. Your mom for waking the babies and you for throwing a fit like a little kid who takes their toy and goes home when they are upset. I'm sorry, but I think you are the asshole. You are definitely in a stressful situation with 2 infant babies, but it sounds like you're taking your stress out on those closest to you while also isolating yourself from them. It's hard enough being a new parent, let alone doing it alone, but it seems as if you are completely isolating yourself from everyone and refusing to ask for help. You're clearly stressed but refusing to host Christmas a week before, after your family made all of these accommodations for you, seems like an overreaction. Your mom simply wanted to hold her grandbabies for the first time. Is that so awful? I'm sure she didn't intentionally mean to wake them up. Don't push away family that wants to help, because then they won't be there when you need them most.
Not the asshole. You are a single mom to 2 infants and they want you to host Christmas? What the fuck is wrong with your family? Also, how comes this is the first time she saw her grandchildren? She is not helping you at all with the child care? Great grandma she is. Sorry, I don't mean any offense, but this gets my blood boiling. So you are telling me you are all alone in caring for your 2 angels? I am deeply impressed by your strength, but I think you really need to find some type of support network. I guess you got such set up dir next month when you return to work. Anyways, kudos to you. I remember when my son was an infant, and even though he was never a crier, always a good kid, and even though it was only 1, my mill helped us out a lot and her help was crucial to us.
Although I can't say I have experience with 2 babies, I just have the one right now. 6 weeks, considering your mom hasn't met them yet and was understandably excited to hold them. I think it would be fair to host Christmas on the condition that the guests take care of the babies and all the chores for the entire day, cooking, cleanup. Ask them to hold them and console the babies while you take a nap or pamper yourself. If they don't agree, stand your ground. But this could be like a day off for you. Everyone wants to hold a baby, especially a grandparent.
Not the asshole. Who the fuck thinks it's reasonable for the single, or even in a relationship, mother of almost twin infants to host Christmas? ETA you spend Xmas with family. I don't count people as family who have not pitched in as much as humanly possible to help out someone in your situation, COVID or not. Not the asshole. Just a suggestion though. If you aren't using a white noise machine for their room, I highly recommend it. They will be able to sleep through noises better, and you won't have to be too quiet.
Not the asshole. No question. Your mom has no boundaries and is super inconsiderate. Also, I completely understand if you don't want to answer this, but come on op. Spill the teas. What's the story with the non-biological baby and your ex?
Not the asshole. You shouldn't have been expected to host in the first place. Not the asshole. Your house, your rules. If she can't follow a simple ask, what else is she going to disregard? For what it's worth, you will be much happier if you make some noise while they sleep. And what's more, they will sleep better if you do. I don't mean run a vacuum right outside their door, but leave some music on and just make normal noise. They will get used to it and sleep soundly even with the noise.
Not the asshole. Enjoy a quiet first Christmas with the babies. We should all be having a quiet holiday season.
You are the asshole. She hasn't even met her grandchildren and you expected her not to want to. IDK massive overreaction IMO.
NTA never wake a sleeping baby. I hosted Christmas when my daughter born on the 10th. It was just my parents and brother too, but they were told ahead of time if they want to come my house would not be clean. Barely 2 weeks postpartum with 3 other toddlers running around. I didn't want to do much or any of our usual holiday traditions. So they came over and my mom was a doll, cleaned up for me, helped, wrangled my older kids and cooked for us. So if they are planning to make you host, I'd straight dip too. Even with your kids being a few months older, that sleep deprivation is still so up there.
I have a question. Who the fuck asks a new mum who is raising 2 babies under the age of 1 by herself to host Christmas? On a further note, who the fuck wakes up both babies, without asking their mother, so they could have a cuddle for the first time? People with heads up their asses, that's who. Not the asshole. You're a goddamn saint op, and a super mum to boot.
Not the asshole. Your first paragraph rant gave me a good laugh, tears of joy. Your family members are not appreciating what life is like for you right now. Stay the course and find peace when possible.
Yeah, not the asshole. You can host any future Christmas, please have a sweet and calm time with your babies and leave the stress out. At that age your babies aren't even vaccinated against measles, probably barely against pertussis, possible from the 6th month on if I remember correctly. You're not selfish, you are considerate of both your exhaustion and your and the baby's safety. About it being your turn. If the person next hosting has a stroke or broken hip, are they also still on the hook for serving everyone? You have 2 babies and are doing an amazing job on your own, they can shove it.
Mom sucks for waking the babies, but learning that she'd never met them before after makes me understand a little bit at least. Wouldn't say you're the asshole, I guess, but it does seem a little dramatic in my opinion. She still disrespected your boundaries and that has consequences, but punishment doesn't fit the crime, I guess, especially when they were probably looking forward to meeting the babies and have been being as safe as possible in order to do so. Guess I'll go with Esh. Light, you are the asshole. You can do what you want, you don't have to host Christmas for anyone, however you just ruined multiple plans people had for Christmas after reneging and going back on your word so close to the actual day. That's an asshole move, but you're stressed with 2 young kids and a divorce, so it's understandable. That being said, your family asking you to reconsider is very, very fair. You all agreed you'd host, you changed your mind, and now it's possibly too late to plan a whole new Christmas or even multiple new Christmases over what seems like to them a very rash and almost arbitrary decision. I don't blame them if they were to think you're ta.
The way I look at it is, will your babies being woken up on this one occasion have long-term effects? Most likely no, it was just inconsiderate on your mum's part and you reacted out of frustration, which is understandable. Will you cancelling Christmas and refusing to spend time with your family elsewhere have long-term consequences? Most likely yes. So really it's a decision of whether this is really worth that ripple effect into the future. Obviously mum is slight asshole for waking babies, but I think this is a disproportionate response.
I say that's fine, but she's just made me realize what a spectacularly bad idea hosting Christmas is, or having visitors in general, and gave her the stuff back and saw her out. More self-respecting reasonable people like this, please, everywhere, thank you. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Girl, I did this, with 1 baby, 4 years ago. I had the only available house. I'm still recovering. Just don't. I had to cook, clean, feed the kid, try to host, keep a schedule. I was so tired, even though I actually had a husband helping. He tried, but it wasn't help. Do it next year. That's too much.
Info. Why can't your parents host? It's still 1 week till Christmas.
Not the asshole. Way too many times I read here of grandparents overstepping boundaries set by parents. That is not okay. Sounds like your mom is of the better to ask for forgiveness than to seek permission. School. I totally hate when people do something they were advised not to do and think that apologizing makes it okay. Take care of your kids and yourself first. And by the way, you taking in your ex-kid and developing love like that is next fucking level. That alone earns you my admiration, but the fact that you don't even mention which is your biological along with everything else you're going through, gives you goddess status. Best of luck, you absolutely badass supermom.
Not the asshole. It's a really difficult and stressful situation you're in. Could you have gone about it a bit better? Absolutely, but you are raising 2 babies by yourself in the middle of a global pandemic, so they should cut you some slack. By the way, it's very admirable what you're doing. My mother was adopted by her cheating father's wife and raised as her daughter. Grandma passed away in April due to COVID, but she will always be one of my heroes.